What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, and make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out. Now, for this video, we're going to be jumping into Batman Urban Legends issue number 5. And if you haven't been keeping up with this line, go ahead and check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything going on in the Urban Legends line. Now, before we dive into this, I wanted to let you guys know that we did get hit with some copyright infringement from Boom Studios and IDW. And so to avoid that happening with Marvel and DC Comics, we're going to be making some alterations to how we're displaying these comics in our videos. We're going to be showing less comics, less panels, and for Boom Studios and IDW, we're going to be removing all of the lettering. If that is something that we have to end up doing with Marvel and DC Comics, we will do that as well. Now, I do not own any of the artwork. It is all owned by the respective companies. Everything is altered to avoid copyright infringement. And with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright guys, so as we jump into issue number 5, we are picking up with Batman and Red Hood currently being taken down by Mr. Freeze and Cheer. Now, Cheer is this guy that has been giving this drug to people all around the city. This drug called Cheerdrop. Now, Cheerdrop is a very unique drug. It makes people happy. It puts them in a state of euphoria. The only issue is, it's kind of like heroin. It is super addictive, and it puts people in such a state that they abandon all of their children, their loves, their wants, their needs. Everything in their life is completely abandoned. And we saw that with one woman and her husband taking this drug and completely abandoning their son, the one being known and referred to as Blue Hood. And so with Batman and Red Hood doing their investigation into all of this, they ended up getting themselves caught up, which puts them in the predicament that they are currently in. With Batman getting loaded into a van, Mr. Freeze under the control of Cheer, and Cheer telling the goons that they might as well just put a bullet in Red Hood. Now, Red Hood, he's able to break out of this freeze state he's in. He's able to break out of it and kick a gun out of the goon's hands. And right now, his main objective is to try to save Batman, grab Batman before they're able to take off. But Mr. Freeze, he shoots the ground with his freeze gun, and he creates a giant wall that's in between him and Batman, giving Mr. Freeze, Batman, and Cheer enough time to be able to escape. Now, throughout this series, we've been dropping into the memories of Red Hood for quite some time. His memories of back when he was a Robin. And this particular situation reminds him so much of when the Riddler kidnapped Batman and made Robin choose which way to get him out. And if he chose wrong, if he chose poorly, it meant Batman's demise. And this is all a plan from Riddler. All a plan to see if his Robin is good enough to live up to the mantle of Robin. Saying that Batman can't just interchange Robins. He can't just go and get a new Robin without him being tested. And in Riddler's opinion, trial by fire is the best way to test the Robin. But to be able to save Batman now, he's going to have to do something that doesn't require a mask. He's going to have to be a regular person. And this is where we see Red Hood make his way to the house, to the home of the teacher they once interviewed, they investigated previously in the issues. Because she is the one that originally created the fear gas toxin. She created the formula that would lead the way, that would lay the way, that would pave the road for the fear toxin. And as it stands, Red Hood, he just feels like this is the place he needs to be. He needs to investigate her just like Batman would. To be the detective. Try to figure out exactly what she might be hiding. And as he does his investigation, he comes to find that the husband, something is up with him. He's not here. He's at work on a Saturday. He's a chemist. And it seems they may be estranged. There seems to be a lot of tension going on. So Red Hood is sensing something is off here. Now currently, Batman, he is strung up. Being able to survive the cold currently because of his suit. But Cheer brought him here specifically so he could create this new formula. His goal is to make everybody happy forever. And though there are definitely side effects to the formula as it stands, he believes that he is making great efforts in creating something that is going to make somebody happy forever. Because at the end of the day, that is his goal. And he divulges to us that he is the husband of the teacher that Red Hood is currently with right now. He stole the formula from her, taking this formula and reverse engineering it to create not fear but happiness. And so he's just another psychopath. That's really what it comes down at the end of the day. He wants to try to help people in the worst way possible. He wants to try to chemically induce them to constantly being in a state of happiness, as if that were some kind of true happiness. But this is when we're brought back to the past, with Robin working effortlessly to try to figure out the right combination to be able to unlock Batman from Riddler's trap. And right now he is scared. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't feel like he is living up to what the Robin name is. He's not Dick Grayson. You know, he's not Bruce Wayne. So at the end of the day, he feels like he is just not good enough. But after some hard thinking, Robin figures it out. He figures out the riddle and he unlocks Batman. Batman believing in him the entire time, never doubting him, not for 1 second. And that helped give a young Robin all the confidence he needed to make sure he knew that he was able to do the task laid ahead of him. And so Red Hood, having full confidence in knowing the best course of action to go here, this is when he goes and tracks down the people that make the chemical. Breaking into this place, talking to the guy that is working late at night, seeming to be the president of the company. Red Hood wants to know about this guy's supply chains, to figure out exactly what's been going on, to figure out how this chemical is even beginning to get on the streets to begin with. And what seems to be the issue is that Cheer has been ordering this chemical under his wife's name, being sent to the college. This is where he created the formula. But the president lets Red Hood know that the most recent shipment, it was actually delivered off campus. And this is when he gives Red Hood that location. But as it stands, Batman is currently getting rigged up to a new Cheerdrop formula. One that is supposed to work on even the most strongest of individuals like Batman himself. And so the question will remain, will Red Hood make it in time? Will he be able to make it and save Batman before Batman is taken over by this Cheerdrop drug? Now that will pick us up with the next part of this issue, which is featuring Tim Drake aka Robin. Now as it stands, Tim Drake, he went out to have what seemed to be a dinner out with a friend. And in doing this dinner, his friend was kidnapped by some kind of shadow monster that has been lurking about and kidnapping children all along the way. And to be able to hunt down Bernard, he's going to have to start tracking down everywhere he has been, everything that he has been getting himself into. And after doing some investigation, it looks like Bernard got himself involved in some kind of pain cult. And so of course Tim Drake, doing everything he can to figure out where Bernard went, he goes undercover into this place. And he does this in an effort to try to find Bernard. Maybe these people will have the answers that he is looking for. But to do this, he's going to have to go through their initiation, which means he is going to sit here and take chains and welts and belts and pain like no one has ever taken before. Now this story has really been about how Tim Drake doesn't really understand himself. He doesn't know who he is. Ever since he was a young kid, he became Robin. He's carried that mantle, he's carried that cowl for as long as he can remember. So outside of being that, it's really hard for him to remember and realize that he is Tim Drake. And this is something that he's having to really come to terms with. He's really having to accept that this is also part of him. And if he's not Robin, then he has to find out exactly who Tim Drake is. What does he enjoy? What does he like? What is he like doing? But that will all have to come at a later time. Because as he sits here on top of the building, on top of the Pain Cult's rooftop, Tim Drake lets us know that this situation has been harder than all of the rest, because all of the MOS, they have all been different. Almost like the MOS are different because each chaos monster is completely different to each cult member. And that is what will bring us into the Grifter part of this comic. Now, diving into this so far, it looks like Grifter is just double-crossing Lucius Fox. At least that's what it's come to be believed at this point. And the story kicks off with Lucius Fox being rushed into the bathroom by Grifter. And in doing this, he lets Lucius Fox know that there are some people here that are supposed to kill him. They're supposed to be taking him out. And those guys make their way into the bathroom, and immediately Lucius Fox, he ends up calling him by the wrong name. These bounty hunters, these murderers catch on to this, realizing that Grifter isn't who he says he is. He's not Max, who is his brother who is supposed to be dead. This blows Grifter's cover, and he has to blow these two away. Now, this is an event that took place months ago. This is what initially got him in the door with Lucius Fox. And picking up in present day, right now, he's getting thrown out of the building. Lucius Fox tells him that he doesn't want him on the premise at all whatsoever. And so Grifter, he heads off to the head honcho of Leviathan, letting him know that he was double-crossing Lucius Fox to be able to get himself a good place here at the top of Leviathan. And of course, they don't believe him. They tell him that it's just bullcrap. He needs to shut his mouth. But he really convinces them at the end of the day that he is on their side to take down Lucius Fox, and that he knows exactly how to get inside. He knows how to take down Lucius Fox. Not only that, but also get all of the information that is on their databases. And so with them giving him the benefit of the doubt, they send a team along with him to go and take down Lucius Fox, making their way inside as a cleaning crew. As they get into the elevator, everybody pulls out their weapons and they get ready to go into there and have one heck of a battle. But before they can go in and take down Lucius Fox, the crew, they turn on Grifter. They turn on him and put guns to his head because he has been double-crossed by them. And with this double-crossing taking place, he jumps into action. With not many options, he grabs one of these guys and he jumps straight out the window. This putting the building into complete lockdown. Outside, he is greeted by Nightwing and Batman, saying that they are here to help out, to help save Lucius. Grifter thanks them for their help, and Batman puts this little device onto a door. Putting that device on the door, it opens it up and Grifter is able to get inside. But before Nightwing and Batman are being able to get in there with him, he closes the gate down on them, but not before taking the device that was able to get Batman inside, telling Batman that he can't be here for this because what's about to happen, it needs to happen, and Batman can't be involved in it. And so with that, Grifter makes his way upstairs. Going upstairs, he finds Lucius Fox. And Lucius Fox, he wants him to get to safety. So they make their way through the building, and Lucius Fox tells him that he knows a safe room, the safest place in the entire building. And that safe place just happens to be the server room. The same room that they are here to try to rob, because they're not here to kill Lucius Fox. They're here to steal all of the data off of his servers, because these computers, they all have information about Batman. They have direct access to Batman. So this information that are on these computers is more valuable than Lucius's life, than anything that he has in this building. It's more valuable than the building itself. And Lucius goes to delete all the files, but before he is able to delete them, Grifter puts a gun to his head, and he goes and plugs in his little USB to try to download all the information. Halo is downloading all of the information right now, but he is also not working with the guys from Leviathan. He is working a completely separate angle. He was only conning them to be able to help him get into the building. He was conning Lucius Fox to be able to get all this information. And as all the goons, they break down the door and they make their entrance, this is where we see the long con really take its place. Because Grifter, he calls in the Wildcats. Because this has been the con all along. Grifter has been working with the Wildcats. His little team, this has all been the plan from the get-go. And the Wildcats, they completely take out all of these goons, and they're able to get away with all of the information that they came here for. And before he leaves, Grifter tells Lucius Fox that you need to trust me, that we really are the good guys. With Batman and Robin arriving much too late and everybody already gone, with Lucius Fox standing there all by himself. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I have been really enjoying all of Batman, all of the Urban Legends line. There's one story in here I'm not completely a fan of. It's the Batgirl story. It's cool. I'm just not a huge Batgirls fan, so it doesn't appeal to me. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I really thought we'd get a little bit more about that kid in the blue hood, and I really hope we do here in the near future. Cheer as a villain, I don't like it. I just think it's kind of a copy of Scarecrow. They just took Scarecrow and they're like, all right, well, let's not do fear, let's do happiness. And that's how you get Cheer. I don't think he's a very well out thought villain. I don't think he has the skills or the capability to do anything he has done up to this point. To be able to kidnap Batman and do all this, even with the help of Mr. Freeze, I think it's a little outlandish to say that it's even possible for him to do it. The Tim Drake story I have thoroughly been enjoying. I'm really excited to see how all of it plays out. And when it comes to the Grifter, this story, I did not see. This has got a twist after a twist after a twist. This is like M. Night Shyamalan movies. But all in all, I have to say it was pretty good. I'm excited for it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not yet, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out. And until the next breakdown.